Let's recap this week's episode of The Amazing Race. I'm bbstanny and I love all things reality and pop culture. Grab a snack and let's get right into it. This week's episode featured a live double U-turn. The teams had to make their way to Athens, Greece. They were all at the airport when they saw Adam and Joseph and learned that the last leg was a non-elimination, which Taylor was really excited about.
And then we were so hoping it jumped over.
We both have a very special relationship with both Joseph and Adam. Joseph is my closest friend inside and outside of the game, and so I'm glad that they got another shot at making another leg.
Awkward. When they got off the plane, their next route info was to meet with Phil, where the teams will vote in front of each other for two teams to be double U-turned. As a penalty from the non-elimination, Phil let Adam and Joseph know that they automatically receive one vote. After the first vote, Tucker and Eric had the most, but there was a tie between Jag and Jazz and Kyland and Taylor. So they had to do a revote to break the tie, and Phil said if they don't break the tie, then all three teams will be picked. They did a vote again, and there was still a tie, so Tucker and Eric, Kyland and Taylor, and Jag and Jazz will have to do both detours. But I want to talk about what happened during the vote. Jag and Jazz had voted for Kyland and Taylor based off a couple races ago, where Eric overheard Kyland saying Jag and Jazz and Tucker and Eric had a gentleman's agreement. Taylor got really emotional about it, and she started saying how males are dominating the game and she doesn't like how the all-women's team went home, but then proceeds to throw a quote-unquote burn vote to Izzy and Paige. And Izzy and Paige is like, okay, you just made this whole speech, but then you voted for us?
For Tucker and Eric and Izzy and Paige, we just wanted it to be a burn vote. I didn't want to vote for you guys.
Neither did we.
Yeah, neither did we.
I was shocked that Taylor and Kyland voted for us.
She gave the speech about how frustrating it feels to be a woman in this game dominated by men, while holding a U-turn board with the only all-female team's faces on it.
I was really disappointed in her hypocrisy.
I think the obvious vote should have been Joseph and Adam, and then they could all say like, well, you already have a vote already. So I don't know how they didn't do that, but moving on. While everyone's doing detours, Chelsea and her dad were lost again. And like I said in my last recap, that's going to cost them the race if they keep freaking getting lost. Despite being double U-turn, Jag and Jazz and Tucker and Eric still dominated, but it all came down to the roadblock. The teams had to correctly recite the Greek alphabet, and it wasn't in alphabetical order, so they had to memorize the Greek letters in one area, and then in another read and say the correct Greek letter. And this was a true equalizer. And Chelsea was not playing when she said she has great memory, because it didn't take her many attempts to correctly recite the Greek letters, and they actually ended up coming in second, with Jazz and Jag being team number 1 and making them the first team in Amazing Race history to check in first after being double U-turned, and they got a trip for 2 to Cambodia. If you want to see the order all the teams came in, I will put the link to that video in the description below, along with more of my notes throughout the episode. And the team in last place was Tucker and Eric. Tucker struggled with reciting the correct letters. It was down to him and Taylor ended up getting it right before him, and her and Kylan ended up coming in 5th place. And I'm really sad to see Tucker and Eric go. They ran such a good race, and I hope we can see them again for like an all-star season or something. And that's it for this week's recap. Let me know your thoughts on the episode in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate so much if you could subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell so you're always notified whenever I upload. And I'll see you next time.